Did you have another question, Beth?
I'm back again. This question, I guess, would be to whoever has the most pull and authority with the Catholic Church. So while having breakfast, I was approached by 3 priests that said, Mr. Saunders, yes. They're like, we follow you on Facebook. We see some of the work you're doing, and you're calling it exorcisms. I'm like, yeah. They're like, well, technically you're not allowed to call it exorcisms, although we see you're doing good work. You have to call it discernment, and they gave me some other words. They says, we understand that this is semantics, but that's the way the Catholic Church works. And we understand what you're doing is good work, but that's just the way it is. You have to get authorization from a bishop or by the Pope. My question is, why wouldn't they have just brought me to a bishop or to a Pope to give me authorization and embrace me into the fold?
I'm going to answer that question 2 ways. Okay, the first is in the Scriptures. The Scriptures, Jesus was confronted with one of his disciples and said, Lord, there's somebody over there that's actually baptizing people in your name and so on. I don't know if you're familiar with the Scripture. Okay, and then, of course, you know what the response was. If they're not against us, exactly. Okay, now we're going back to the second way, the second issue I'd like to answer this question, okay? There's dogma that we tend to follow, traditions that we tend to follow. People who are ordained priests, okay, only they're allowed really to do a solemn exorcism, okay? As a result, okay, there's been a misunderstanding because every person that I have read about that have been connected with Jesus Christ, not one of them was following any dogma. They were following Christ. And Christ gave them the authority to do what he does. And that's including delivering people. That is including praying and healing people in his name. I mean, Christ is the bottom line. You have the power, and God has called you to do something. I will not stand in your way and say, hey, you're not ordained. I mean, what the heck? No, I'm not going to do that. Because, you know, for some reason, you were called to do something, and that was your mission. I think God gives each of us a mission in life. If that's your mission, who's to interfere with that? And it's based on biblical principle, too. So that's the way I would answer that.
Fasting or something.
Yeah, before the solemn rite of exorcism, I will fast, and it's a 2-week preparation, and then I receive the sacrament of reconciliation.
All right. A short little video. A pleasure to make your acquaintance.
You're very welcome. It's a pleasure. My pleasure, actually. I'm always wanted to be a child of God. That's fantastic.
Well, look in the mirror.
Good warrior. Good warrior.